ought to be interesting.
Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alan Smith, and today we have something that I've put together that that our guests I know are a little like, oh my God, what is he doing to us? Yes, you were a guest this time. Yes, I am here with my normal co-host, the one, the only Big Dave.
Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about being a guest on my own show here.
And we are also... Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, this is... Yeah, and then we were also joined by our special guest who's been with us several times before, Barry.
This is what happens when Alan gets a new toy. That's what I'm going to say. He gets a new toy, and he's like, I got to play with this thing.
He's got to play with all the buttons.
All right.
Yep.
So,
and
yeah.
I've been demoted. I'm no longer a co-host.
Well, for this episode, you are not, because we are playing a game.
Uh-oh.
This is a game that I put together. It is called What's in a Name? There are a lot of celebrities across many parts of fame, whether it's music or Hollywood, or writers or directors or comedians or wrestlers or whatever, who are known by a name, but they were born under a different name.
Oh, goody, a game I'm going to lose at.
Trust me, Dave, you're in the same boat as I am in this one.
But before we get started here, seriously, this is a serious thing. We need to take a moment of silence and just... You ready?
In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys.
His
please,
name
stop it.
is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
This is over with.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Yes, as we were recording this, Meatloaf passed yesterday.
Yeah.
And I love Meatloaf. I love his music. He's done some great movie work.
Yeah.
And I know of no other way to really memorialize him than Bob from... I mean,
It was either going to be that or Heaven Can Wait.
Yes, Heaven Can Wait. That's... and I did on my Facebook, I actually put lyrics for Bat Out of Hell on because, it's that whole, I'm down at the bottom of the bridge. At the yeah, well, that's and it's one of those things and we lost Jim Steinman 9 months ago.
Right.
So the fact that we lost both of them inside of a year is...
And they're probably somewhere fighting.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are. And making great music on
Beating
top of
the
it
crap
all.
out of the piano. Just totally destroying the piano.
But I wanted to, do a little tribute to Meatloaf there. So, All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
I had bigger plans for this in some ways, and time, and actually just being able to find the resources for some of this stuff it was kind of difficult.
Okay. No respect for your
I was
homework, then.
going to have some kind of buzzer system where we could, you could to answer the question or whatever. I guess what I'm going to do is whoever raises their hand first that I see gets to answer.
It's not like we're not sitting across the table.
I know.
Geez.
It's not. But it would have been cool to have some extra noises.
See,
okay,
he gets one new toy. Gets one new toy. All
right, here's the thing. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 categories.
Okay.
Here. Okay. Right. I have music. So it's musicians.
Yep.
Real names of musicians.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
I have wrestlers.
Okay.
Real names for that. I have actors.
Okay.
And then I have other. And the other is is basically anything that's not those other 3 things of people that are famous, whether, like I said, whether it's directors or it's comedians or it's artists or it's whatever. Yeah. There's a president on here.
Oh.
Welcome to an episode of Embarrassed Big Dave.
Brother, I'm telling you, you're in the same boat I am right now.
This may not be as good of an episode as you thought it was going to be.
All right.
We'll see how she rolls.
So here's the thing. To figure out who gets control of the board. All right. I have a number behind my back. I know this is great radio.
He looks so uncomfortable too, folks. I wish you could see this.
Between 1 and 5, the closest without going over gets.
I'll go 4.
I'll go with a deuce.
It was 5, so Dave has control of the board. Dave. And yes, I went old school. I have this all written down so I can keep up. Okay, here's the thing I also didn't explain. I'm going to say the name they were born under.
Okay.
If no one gets it from that, then you get 100 points for that. Okay?
Okay.
If no one gets it from the first one, I have a follow-up
clue.
If no one gets it, then you get 50 points for that.
Okay.
If you don't get it from that, the last one is so easy that somebody's going to get it. And so we will... Hold on, I got to write this down because,
I think this may be closer to an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, I've got a hunch there's going to be a lot of really said in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. Some of this stuff, like, some of them were like, oh, okay. There were some that I was like, holy crap, I can't believe. Sorry. Yeah, I am all kinds of disorganized here.
So you see, folks, you're not the only ones that when you're staying up late at night, playing around on Google trying to find, weird rabbit holes to go down, that's where this came from.
A little bit.
Okay.
So the name of this game is What's in a Name?
All right.
Kick
it
Dave,
off, sir.
what category would you like to go with first?
Other.
Okay.
We're going to other. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, other doesn't have as many as the other ones, but
all right.
Okay. Born, Stanley Lieber.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm not. It sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is.
He worked in publishing all of his life.
Stanley Lieber.
Famously created characters with Jack Kirby.
Stan Lee?
There you go.
Oh.
His birth name was Stanley Lieber. He took the Stanley.
Wow.
Made Stan Lee.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, that
Barry's on the board with 25 points.
All right.
So, all right, you're in control. What do you want to go with?
Well, you know my passion. Go with wrestling.
Wrestling, I knew it. Right? And I'll tell you, the early ones are easy, and then they get harder as it goes down. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
In theory, okay?
definitely screwed then.
Born, Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea is Hulk Hogan.
There you go. Barry with the 100. All right, you're still in control.
Oh, stay with it, baby.
Phil Brook.
Phil Brook is CM Punk.
Barry with another 100. Dave, you're not even weighing in on this stuff.
I don't have a clue. Like I said, this is going to be
You're
another Dave.
still in control of the board.
We'll go one more in this.
Another game of Embarrass Big Dave.
Jerome Young.
Ooh. Booker T?
No.
Okay.
All right, Dave, you're in control on this one.
the guy-
Whoa. Yeah, let me go. If you don't know this one, then I'll go to the next, like the next question.
Okay.
The next clue. The next clue. Made his name in ECW.
It doesn't help me at all. I'm going to go with The Godfather.
No. Okay, so this was
don't
up.
know.
Whoever raises their hand first on this one. Here's the last one. Known for the mass transit incident.
New Jack?
New Jack it is.
Had to think about that one for a minute. His name is Jerome Young?
Jerome Young was. Yeah, he passed this last year.
Oh, yeah.
So. All right, you're in control of the board again, Barry. And so far, we've got 250 to nothing.
All right, we'll switch it and go to movies.
Actors,
excuse me.
All right, here we go. Birth name was Norma Jean Mortensen.
Isn't that Marilyn Monroe?
That is Marilyn Monroe.
Nice.
Dave, you are in control of the board.
Her last name was Mortensen? I thought it was Baker.
Nope. Well, eventually it was. She went.
Oh,
through,
that was
she
the
got
married
married.
Name. That was the married name. Okay.
So
Let's go with musicians.
musicians. All right. Born Reginald Dwight. Barry
It's Elton John.
is Elton John. You're in control of the board.
I saw the movie.
Yeah.
So
I saw the movie too. I just don't remember it.
we'll stick with music.
Born one Mr. Gordon Sumner.
Sting.
Oh, Sting.
Oh, you got it, Dave. Dave got me on that.
Dave, yeah. Let's make sure to raise the hand so
right.
we know who, rather than just blurting it out.
I got the hand on that one.
All right, Dave, you're in control of the board.
Let's go back to actors.
Actors. Born. Carlos Estevez. Barry.
It's Martin Sheen.
No.
Oh, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen it is. Yes. Carlos Estevez.
Yeah, I had 1 and 2 on that one. You know,
The funny thing I
know
love
it wasn't Emilio.
the thing that I loved about that name is that he's in Machete 2. And in the trailer, at the very last thing, it says, "And introducing Carlos Estevez."
Nice.
And I was like, yes, that is
Nice.
awesome. All right. Dave's in control of the board.
Let's go back to musicians.
Musicians. Born Saul Hudson. Barry.
Slash.
That is Slash. All right.
How much of a badass could he have been if he went by the name Saul?
I know.
mean, really.
I know. It's a...
Saul Hudson is not a guitarist. Saul Hudson is the guy that sells you furniture or something. You know.
Maybe.
Killing me. Oh, I see why.
Aha.
Aha.
Aha. Ho ho. Hee hee. Mhm.
You know what? I have been okay.
He just had a breakthrough moment, folks.
I did, and it's yeah.
All right.
All right, you're in control of the board still, Barry.
We'll go back to wrestlers. I was doing well in that.
Wrestlers. All right.
You're doing well in all of it.
Dave
here.
is shooting me. I hate you, Barry. Look. So.
Born one Mr. Roderick Toombs.
Oh, that's Roddy Piper.
Hey, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Ah, yes, you're correct. My
Try it again.
oh, I see what the problem is.
Glad somebody figured it out.
All right, I got you.
All right. Well, stick with this category.
All right. Born Mark Calloway.
Oh, that's
Dave,
Undertaker.
There you go.
Dave,
That's my
sneaking in
favorite
there.
guy.
Nice.
What's so funny is that Barry, you've answered more questions, but Dave has gotten more of them on the first try. Than it's
I either know him or I don't.
I just wear him down. That's what
all
I do.
right.
I wear him down.
All right, Dave.
Let's go with musicians.
Use active musicians. Born one Mr. Calvin Brodus. Barry.
Snoop Dogg.
That would be Snoop. Oh. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. You're right.
Alan's
Sorry.
having a stroke on the
I
board
hit the
there,
wrong
you know.
one. All right.
So many jokes about him playing with buttons.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It never gets old. Stick with music.
Okay. Born Brian Warner.
Oh, it's Marilyn Manson.
And you
It
thought this
is.
was going to be a blowout.
All right. Dave, you are in control of the board.
Let's go back to actors. Why not?
Actors. All right. Should be a gimme. Born Nicholas Coppola.
Nope.
Barry got his hand up first.
That's Nicolas Cage.
Very good. Very good.
Who, what, where? Yeah, that's the worst Nicolas Cage joke I've
That
ever
one was
done.
pretty bad. All right, you are in control of the board.
Other. We'll switch it up a little.
Ooh, we're gonna go to other. All right. Born Vicky Lynn Hogan.
I know this name. Oh my gosh, I know this name and I can't think of who it is.
Okay, here's the next question. The next clue. She was a stripper in Texas where she met her future husband. Barry?
Anna Nicole Smith?
Yay!
Oh, completely forgot about her.
Yeah, I tried to, but unfortunately he brought those memories back.
And we are back for round number 2. So far, Barry is sitting in the lead with 800 points, and Dave is not that far behind with 500. Like I said, every one of them you've answered has been on the first clue. So it's
like I said, I either know it or I don't.
I know.
There's no
All right,
halfway
so Barry, you are in control.
All right, well, we'll go back to wrestling.
We're gonna go back to wrestling.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Born James Hellwig. Barry.
It's the Ultimate Warrior.
It is the Ultimate Warrior.
I feel like I should have known that.
Oh, wait. There you go.
Speak to me, warriors. All right, music.
Music. Going back to music.
Yep.
You're still a little hot.
Am I still a little hot? I don't know. Well, I can't help
You and
how
your
hot I
big
am.
mouth.
Can't help it. All right. Born William Bruce Rose Jr.
Oh, that's Axl Rose.
That is Axl Rose.
I forgot it was W. Axl Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you're in control.
Stick with music.
All right. Born Robert Van Winkle.
Oh,
Dave.
that's Vanilla Ice.
There you go. Dave gets that
So
one.
my sister's maiden name is Van Winkle.
Oh,
I should
really?
have gotten that one.
All right, Dave, you are in control.
Or married name, sorry.
Let's go to other. Why not?
Other. Back to other. Dave likes the other, apparently.
Hey, well, don't
All
judge.
right.
Don't judge.
Born Theodore Seuss Giselle.
It's Dr. Seuss.
There we go.
Oh, come on.
Is it Giselle or Geisel?
Whatever.
I always heard it Geisel.
Is it Geisel?
Geisel.
I'm going to butcher a lot of these names. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now.
Kind of like the arms
You're
company
still in
guys.
control.
Yeah.
You are still in control.
I'll stick with other.
Birth name Tara Patrick.
Oh, Carmen Electra?
Yeah. Good job. I didn't think anybody would get that on the first one, but okay.
It took me a minute. I was like, I know that one.
I was waiting for somebody to drop the porn actress
Nice.
because there was a lawsuit over that.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, you're still in control.
Go back to actors.
Actors. Oh, let me see if I can pronounce this correctly. Born Lee Yuen Com.
Dave?
I don't have a clue.
All right. Unfortunately, he was of Chinese descent and came to the United States, became a huge martial arts actor.
Is it Bruce Lee?
It is Bruce Lee.
Oh, nice.
It is Bruce Lee. Good job there, Dave.
That should have been a 50. I got that on the clue.
You're right.
See, I'm keeping it honest, even though I'm losing miserably.
All right, you're still in control?
Let's go back to musicians.
All right. I knew Dave was going to go back to musicians. Born David Robert Jones.
Isn't that
Dave.
David Bowie?
It is David Bowie. Good job. I didn't think anybody would get that one.
Well, Davy Jones. I mean,
I
come
know.
on,
It's
you know.
All right. Dave,
Where's my applause? Okay, I feel better now. Musicians.
there you go. Stay with musicians. This is an easy one. Born Richard Starkey.
Starkey.
Oh.
That's
Dave.
not Trent Reznor, is it? I didn't think so. Okay.
You mean a drummer meets Ringo Starr?
Bingo Star.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn in your sticks at the door, sir.
All right, Barry, you are back in control.
I never said I was the smartest drummer around.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Anyway,
Coming from a bass player.
we'll stick with musicians.
Born Catherine Hudson.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry it is.
Just because she's got the same name as Kate Hudson.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll go back to wrestlers.
All right.
Oh, he's wanting to make sure he demolishes me.
Hey, man, foot on the throat, you know.
Here we go. Born Tyson Smith.
Ooh. Tyson Smith.
I don't know.
Yeah,
All right. Made his name in New Japan Pro Wrestling as a member of the Bullet Club.
It's not Finn Balor.
All right, here's the last clue.
All right.
The Cleaner.
Oh, Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
Tyson Smith.
Tyson Smith. This is
Why does that sound like somebody in like the witness protection
I don't know,
program?
but that's
you know?
I told you
Looking
these
at
are going to
him,
get a little
probably.
These are going to get a little
little obscure.
little harder.
Yeah.
Some.
All right, give me one more in that.
Born Adam Copeland.
Oh, Edge.
Edge, there you go.
The rated R superstar.
That's right.
All right, actors.
Actors.
We'll switch it up.
Born River Bottom.
That's an unfortunate one. Wow.
His birth name was River Bottom.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
River Phoenix.
No.
Okay.
I was about to say, what's with the silence?
I had to look at that for a second. I was like, no. That was not River Phoenix was not his birth name.
I had
So
to take
it's
it. I had to take a chance. I mean, it made sense.
All right, here comes the next clue.
All right.
Oh, he made his movie debut in Space Camp as a child actor.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Is Joaquin Phoenix.
So wait, Joaquin's name was River, but
his
his
real
brother
name
changed
was
his
River.
name to River?
But whenever he was credited as Leaf Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
My God, pick a name, dude.
I know.
Just pick a name.
Oh,
all right?
no, believe me, some of these are. All right, you're still in control.
Yeah, I'll stay with actors.
All right. Born Marion Michael Morris.
Is that John Wayne?
That is John Wayne.
I was about to say, I remember his first name was Marion, but I
Yeah.
couldn't remember what his last name was.
All right.
The man was afraid of horses.
I know that was going to be one of my clues. It's like
You're other.
other.
Yeah.
We are othering.
Well, every now and then we got other.
Born Scott Thompson.
Immediately I go to the guy from the Kids in the Hall. Hey, his name is Scott Thompson.
I
All right.
have a clue. On most of these, I don't have a clue.
No worries.
This is a terrible game for me.
He is a comedian.
Okay. Scott Thompson.
Okay.
I'm-
and here we go. This is your final clue. Norm Macdonald deemed him box office poison.
Carrot Top?
Carrot Top it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't feel bad about not knowing that. I feel no pain whatsoever.
I'm not going to lie. I feel a little dirty. I do feel a little dirty.
I knew that Norm Macdonald was going to get it for whoever.
You see,
All right.
He was box office poison.
Right. All right. You're still in control. So
Actors.
actors. We are back to actors. All right. Born Jennifer Elizabeth Chan.
I got nothing.
She comes from an acting family. She has two other sisters who have both appeared in notable movies.
Still got nothing.
In her recent years, she has transitioned into playing on the World Series of Poker.
Jennifer Tilly?
Jennifer Tilly it is.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he could have just said Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, I know. That would
have
be way too easy. All right, you're still in control. What are you going
Go back to music.
Music. Musicians. Born Thomas Luther Bryan.
I'll just continue sitting silently in the corner over here.
Thomas Luther. I got nothing.
He really knows how to shake his ass.
Oh, it's George Michael. George Michael.
No.
No.
That's what he was known for years.
Well, yeah, that and the whole, breast stop incident.
Well, yeah, that's true.
All right, here we
I got
go.
nothing. Go ahead.
He's what's wrong with modern country music.
Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus? I don't know.
No. Really? No.
I got nothing.
Dave.
I just,
Luke Bryan.
Wow.
wait, I
No
thought
one
you
gets the points on
I
that.
thought you were talking about country music.
I said he's what's wrong with modern country music.
Dave,
It's
the
a,
fact that neither one of us knew that. Salute, sir. Salute.
we have our first no one got it. So all right. Bear, see, were you were in
Yeah.
control, so where are we going to?
We'll stick with music.
Born Frank Farana.
Oh, I should know this.
You want to take a stab at it?
I can't pull it off the top
Yeah.
of my head yet.
I got nothing.
He's lost the clue.
He has lost the clue.
He originally, crap. He's the mastermind behind a very famous 80s metal band.
Okay.
Was that your original clue? Because you look like
No,
you
I
stumbled
completely
with it.
lost. I
I
was
think
like,
he's
my
coming
mind
up
went
on the fly
completely
here,
blank because
yeah.
I don't have any of this stuff written down. I'm doing it off.
Piranha. I should know this.
Frank Piranha. The last clue.
Oh,
He died of a heroin overdose, but then came back.
Six.
Nicky Six. There you go.
I was like, I know this.
His name is Frank
Frank
Piranha.
Piranha
Yeah.
is his birth name. There you go, Dave. Hey, you're in control. What would you like now?
Go back to other, just because I'm losing miserably anyway.
All right. Born Eric Weiss.
Oh, I know this one. Eric Weiss. It escapes me. What do you got, Dave?
I got nothing.
He, after his mother died, he decided that he was going to take on the spirit community.
Oh, is it Harry Houdini?
Harry Houdini it is.
Oh, okay.
Eric Weiss. His name was, he thought his name was too Jewish, so he changed it to Harry Houdini. Because there was a guy whose last name was Houdin, and it was, yeah.
You decided to one-up him with an
Yep.
I. Actors.
Actors. Oh, went too far. Actors. Born Karen Johnson.
It's Whoopi Goldberg.
That is Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, alrighty then.
Wow. Hold on. There you go. All right, you're still in control.
Stay with actors.
Born Mark Vincent.
Mark Vincent.
Clue, please.
I was going to say, didn't he play for Kiss? That was Vinnie
No.
Vincent. Sorry.
Vinnie Vincent. He got his start making breakdancing videos.
Oh, wait, Ice-T? Oh.
I'm going to throw a shot in the dark here. Channing Tatum.
Last clue. He is in a franchise, a movie franchise that has grossed billions of dollars.
Oh.
All based on the back.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. There you go.
Could have said had a notable dispute with The Rock. I mean,
yeah, that would have. Yeah, I know. Dave, you are in control.
Go back to musicians. Like,
All right.
there's no way I'm catching up at this point.
Sure, there is.
No, there's
Oh
not.
no, yeah, there is. Believe me. Born Dana Owens.
That's Queen Latifah.
That is Queen Latifah. All right.
I can't believe you pitted me up against a guy that occasionally runs trivia games for bars.
I told you
That's cheating.
what this was going to be about a week and a half ago. So.
That doesn't help me at all.
All right, Barry, you're still in control.
If it makes you feel any better, Dave, there's a lot of these I'm sitting there going, who? Stick with the musicians.
Born Destiny Hope Cyrus.
It can't be that easy. Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus it is.
I was like, it can't be.
I was
it
thinking the
can't
same
be.
thing. I was like, why not just throw it out there, see what happens?
Miley Cyrus's real name is Destiny Hope Cyrus, as if she couldn't be more white trash.
Oh, my gosh.
You are in control, my friend.
I feel dirty that I knew that one.
Some of these I'm kind of glad I didn't know the answer to.
Yeah, well.
Stick with music. Get me out of here.
Born Robert Zimmerman.
Oh, come on. That's Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan it is.
I didn't even get a chance to raise my hand on that
Well,
one.
you gotta take a shot. Take your shot.
I still.
All right, still you again.
That was always my problem. Always.
I know. Believe me.
Give me another music one.
Born Vincent Fernier.
Oh, I'll give Dave a chance.
Vinnie
on this.
Vincent.
No.
No.
It's Alice Cooper.
Oh yes, it's Alice Cooper.
I don't know this stuff. I mean, this is absolutely useless for me.
Yeah.
Well.
I just remembered the fact that I had to look it up when I was in high school, thinking this guy's got to have this most awesome real name. And
It actually is a pretty cool name, Vincent Fernier.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the
that's
funny thing is, if you look online, you can find his high school yearbook picture. Oh my God, he is a.
He ran track.
He's a scrawny
I
little
know,
dude. You know,
he looked normal. He looked so normal. You know. It was like, all right, you're still in control, Barry.
Give me another music one.
Yeah, continue to embarrass me.
Born Paul Hewson.
Oh, I know this. I got nothing, Dave.
Like I have a choice in this. No, I have nothing.
He met his future bandmates while they were all still in high school.
That's pretty much every other band out there. That doesn't help.
Described a third of the bands in existence, Alan.
He's from Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, is that Bono?
It is Bono.
It was only going to be one of two, either him or the Edge, you know?
Yeah. Did you
All
give me that
right.
one? Did you sandbag that?
No, I don't.
All right, Dave, you are in
Go back
control.
to other. It's not like I'm going to win this at this
Dave's
point.
back to other. Born Shelton Lee.
How unfortunate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He first really came on this, or he went national with a series of Nike commercials with Michael Jordan.
Spike Lee?
Spike Lee it is.
Do you know?
Gotta be the shoes.
What was the name? He gave himself some.
I
silly
don't
name.
remember
can't
what it is
remember
off
what
the
it
top
was.
of my head.
Oh, look, he's about to pass me in the scoring for like the second time. I have officially been paced point-wise here. This was a NASCAR race. I would be still stuck in the pits.
All right, you are still in. Are you were in control?
Go back to actors.
Actors.
Maybe I can act like I can get a clue.
Born Alicia Christian Foster.
I got nothing on that one.
She started out as a child actor in Disney movies.
What category was this again?
Actors.
Alicia Silverstone? Yes.
All right, here's the last one. She has 2 Academy Awards.
Okay.
One for her portrayal in The Accused.
Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster it is.
That's a hard movie to watch, too.
Yes, it is.
That's a really hard movie to watch.
Yes, it is, because that scene goes on and on
and they replay
on
it.
and on, and it's I know.
Yeah, kind of like this game. It goes on and on.
Yeah, well, okay, you're in control, Barry.
All right, why not switch back to wrestling?
Wrestling. Born Virgil Riley Runnels Jr.
Oh, that's Dusty.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
That's right.
The man that created his own language.
That's right.
Using words like frickus and clubbering.
That's right.
In public, if you will. On the mothership. See, he should have never poked the bear with Dusty Rhodes. That's one of my all-time favorites. Anytime you can have a fat...
Dined with kings and eaten...
Oh, man. Hard times.
I know.
Hard times.
What is it? I've dined with kings and I've eaten pork and beans.
Yep.
All right.
Hard times are, son.
Dude, that Hard Times promo is
still one of the best.
Still one of the best
One of
ever,
the best of all time.
All right.
Stick with it. Why not?
Born Steve Borden.
Oh, Sting.
Sting. All right.
The Stinger. The Stinker.
He is the Stinger. And still, at 62 years old, kicking ass
Yeah.
in AEW.
Yeah.
Jumped off of through a table on the other night.
It just...
That's every time he does something like that, like, he's going to die. He's going to die. Oh, no, Sting is indestructible. Okay. It's,
well, that's once he found God, apparently he's like, you're not done
I
yet.
know. All right, you're still in control.
One more time. Hit me with that one.
Born Stephen James Anderson.
That is the most generic name known to man.
Isn't it?
Sounds like a serial killer to me.
It does, because 3 names. Yeah. Or an assassin of some kind.
Yeah.
All right, I've got nothing.
Was a member of the Hollywood Blondes.
Okay, well, if it's the Hollywood Blondes, it wasn't Steve Austin. It was Brian Pillman?
Dave?
No, I don't know.
He's the Texas Rattlesnake.
I thought his name was Steve Williams. I think it's Steve Austin.
Steve Austin,
Yeah.
it is.
And what was his name again?
Stephen James Anderson.
Anderson.
There's Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Well, I thought that's why he changed it.
His Stephen James Anderson
Okay.
is his birth name.
The only reason I didn't answer the second time is like, you've already got it.
I mean, it's Hollywood.
Because
Blonde.
I know
It's only
you
one
went
of
with
two. Yeah.
Pillman, but no, Brian Pillman's actual name was Brian Pillman. So.
And his son's name is Brian
Pillman Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're still in control.
One more time.
Born James George Janos.
Meet James George Janos. I got nothing.
He's
I
a
don't know.
big conspiracy theorist.
Oh gosh. Jesse the Mind Ventura.
This is Jesse Ventura. Yes, it is.
He's no longer Jesse the Body. He's
No,
Jesse the
that's-
Mind.
Yes, he is.
When you say conspiracy theorist,
I know. I was like, this might be a little.
What was going to be the next one? He was like governor of Minnesota.
Governor of Minnesota was going to be the next one. Yeah.
It's still an active member of the Mongols.
Is he really? Wow.
All right.
One more time.
One more time.
Hit me again.
Born Christopher Irvine.
Oh. I know this one because I know who his dad was.
Go ahead. I don't have a clue.
That would be Chris Jericho.
That would be Chris Jericho. Yes,
His dad
it
was Ted Irvine.
That's right. And that was going to be the clue, was his dad played professional hockey. All right.
Switch it over to music.
Back to music.
Poor Dave is over here just like, the coffee's good.
Yeah, coffee's good.
Born.
It's warm in here.
Born Dave Evans.
Wasn't there a singer named Dave Evans?
Yes, there was.
I got nothing. And
Dave Evans. I
He
feel
is-
like I should know this.
He is originally from Wales, but moved to Ireland as a young child.
Tom Jones. I got nothing.
Is that the Edge?
Yes, that's the edge.
See? He's back in the hunt, folks.
No, I'm not anywhere close.
Hey, you answered one right.
I might have put gas in the car at this point.
All right. You're in control. What are we going with?
Just
Go back to your others.
Go
You
back
love
to
your
other-
You love
Because they're
other.
working so well for you. That's,
nothing's working so well for me. This may be my last episode of the podcast.
Well,
I'm
you're
not
a-
sure.
You're a guest now, remember?
Yeah, I've been demoted.
all right,
So
here we
maybe
go.
I'll just quit.
Born Alan Stewart Konigsberg.
Oh,
Konigsberg?
that sounds familiar.
Give us a clue.
He is an award-winning director of note.
I never saw Note. Did you see Note?
I don't think
Every
it's
time he
exactly
makes a
what-
movie, people lose their mind over it. You ready for the final clue?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a complete piece of shit who married his stepdaughter.
Oh, it's Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. There you go.
I'm glad you put that part of it in there because if you just left it with a complete piece of shit as a director,
I know.
dude, there's so many different ways you could go.
All right.
I got that one. So
Yeah.
let's keep going.
You going to say with other?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
And technically, that should have been an actor's because he also acts. in
Yeah,
films.
I can
Yeah,
say
I
that
can
one
call
could.
what he
I
does
put him in
acting,
other
but
because it could go either way. Spike Lee's the same way, where it's he.
Technically, Chris Jericho could have been in
Yeah, well,
musician
whatever.
also with
True.
his band Fozzy.
True.
But he's better known as a wrestler. So, all right, here you go. Born Melvin Kaminsky.
Oh, I know this one.
Go ahead.
It's Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks it is.
There's a great story when he was in the military where they were on the front lines, and he was, I think, like a radio operator or something, and he actually climbed up a pole that had a speaker on the top of it and wired a turntable to it and started playing Spike Jones records.
Nice.
And the Nazis had no idea what the hell was going on.
All right, you are in control.
Go back to actors.
We are going back to actors. Born Ashley Tyler Simonella.
Oh, that's a nice Italian name. I had no idea.
I don't either.
She comes from a very famous musical family in country music.
Well, the last name is Simonella?
I feel like I'm getting food poisoning with that last name.
I know, it seems like, did you eat a bad egg or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
No clue. Keep going.
She's. Let's see. How do I do this one?
He's trying to come up with another clue.
Well, no, I'm trying to come up with a clever clue, but it's not going to happen. Her mother was diagnosed with an incurable disease that somehow she got over.
What?
Oh, is that Judd?
That is that. Which one?
Winona? Ashley.
It's Ashley Judd.
He was there. He was there.
It's one of the Judds.
Ashley Judd, yes. All right, you're in control.
Yeah, just keep going with that one.
Right. If either of you get this on the first one, I'm going to be impressed.
Okay. Shoot it.
Born Joyce Penelope Wilhelmina Frankenberg.
Prepare to be not impressed. I have no Frankenberg.
Wilhelmina.
Her stage name that she goes by is also shared by one of Henry VIII's wives.
Oh,
You ready for the last clue?
yeah.
She was a medicine woman.
Oh, Jane Seymour.
Jamie Seymour it is.
Dr. Quinn.
Yes.
Never watched the show, but I
Nope.
remember that.
Everybody remembers Everybody knows of Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
Yeah.
You know? All right, you're in control.
How sad is it that, we didn't know the history part of that,
Yeah.
but I got it from the fact that it was a bad TV show.
And yes, one of Henry
Yeah.
VIII's wives was named Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour, yeah. Stick with actors.
Born Roy Harold Shearer Jr.
Oh, I feel like I should know this.
That
one.
sounds familiar to me, too, and I can't think of it.
It's an actor?
This is an actor of the golden age of Hollywood.
Roy Shearer, you said?
Roy Harold Shearer Jr.
Clint Eastwood. Dang.
All right, here's your next clue.
Okay.
This is the next clue. He starred in a series of movies with Doris Day.
Rock Hudson?
Rock Hudson it is.
My mom would be proud.
Yep. My last clue was going to be one of the first big celebrities that died of AIDS.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true.
All right, you're in charge.
Hit me in movies or actors one more time.
Born, you're going to love this one. Born Harvey Lee Yeary.
Erie?
Yeary. Yeary.
Harvey Yeary.
Harvey Lee Yeary.
It's not one of those serial killers.
No, it sounds
No.
like the guy that changes your oil. I don't know.
He was married to Farrah Fawcett in the 1970s.
Burt Reynolds? I don't know.
All right, here we go. He's the unknown stuntman. Come on.
The unknown stuntman.
I'm not the kind to kiss and tell.
Oh,
but
oh,
I've been
oh,
seen with Farrah. I didn't
From
know
the Fall Guy. What the hell's his name?
Somebody, come on.
I can't think of
can't
it.
think
I can see him. Lee Majors?
And your time's up. Lee Majors.
Yeah, I got it right at the end.
Yes.
I had to think. I was like, Harvey?
Harvey Lee Yeary.
Thank God he went with Lee instead
I
of
know.
Harvey. Harvey Majors, that sounds like a bad band from the 90s.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, go back to music.
Going back to music. Born. Let's see how fast you guys get this one. Born Marvin Aday.
The Loaf. It's
Meatloaf it is. I would have also accepted Michael.
Yeah.
Because his name was Michael Aday, but his dad was a complete piece of crap that tried to kill him, and so he changed his name to Marvin, so he didn't have the same name as his dad. So,
And there's still some debate on why they called him Meatloaf.
yeah, well, he made that story. He made all kinds of stories.
Oh, yeah.
about
I mean,
why it is.
did you ever read his book?
I haven't. No.
There's parts of it where he talks about meeting Charles Manson and, like,
Oh yeah,
it's
I mean,
just-
I know
just
he had a
random
very
stuff.
interesting life. So
Yeah.
you're up.
Well, wasn't he one of them that drove one of the FBI agents to the hospital when Kennedy got killed or something?
No,
don't think so.
He wasn't.
I would
No,
say-
he
It
was.
seems like I remember him telling that story in an
He may
interview.
have told that story,
Yeah.
but I don't think that.
I think he would have been 12.
He was. Yeah, he was really young when that happened. You're in control again. Still.
Stick with music.
Heck of a storyteller.
Yeah.
Born Stephen Tallarico.
Wait, what?
Music.
Music. Born
Steven Tyler?
Steven Tyler. It is. Good job,
Tallarico?
Tallarico. Well, Dave, you're in control. Where do you want to go with
Yeah,
here?
just stay with musicians. I'm going to lose anyway.
Born Declan McManus.
Oh, Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello it is. Yes.
I had to think about that one for a minute.
All right, Barry.
I still love the line that David Lee Roth did about that, where he was talking about music writers. Music writers really like Elvis Costello because they all look like Elvis Costello. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah. Stick with music.
All right. Born. All right, let's see if I can pronounce this correctly. Born Trevor Chaim Smith Jr.
Trevor Chaim Smith Jr. I got nothing, Dave.
No, good clue.
He is a member of the Muslim faith. Was it the 3%? It's a sect of like that believe that like basically they're the chosen one, like they're the chosen ones.
Kanye West. I got nothing.
Good guess though, thinking they're the chosen one.
Yeah.
All right. If you're around him, you better put your hands where his eyes can see.
Is it Busta?
Busta Rhymes it is.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a great name. Not a great name.
All right, you're still up.
Stay with it.
Born Enrique Morales.
I'm going to throw out a name.
Go ahead.
Just random.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin. Are you serious?
Yes.
That's okay. My conscience is clean.
All right, you're still in control of the board.
You have pulled all of the answers that should make you feel dirty.
What can I say? Shebang, you know?
There's a reason why I didn't just do this with you, Dave, because I would just be reading off people's real names all day.
That's it. I quit. I'm out of here.
All right.
Sit your butt down.
Go ahead.
Stick with music.
All right, born Peter Gene Hernandez.
I know this one.
Go ahead and answer it.
And it's just not going to help my credit at all.
Go ahead and answer
It's Bruno Mars.
It is Bruno Mars. Hey, I like Bruno Mars. I'm sorry. Bruno Mars is actually a very talented musician.
The fact that he started his career as a James Brown impersonator.
I know.
No, he did a little bit of Elvis too.
He did Elvis.
He
too.
was-
He was like a child
Yep.
Elvis impersonator.
He is a phenomenal musician. Not just a singer, not just a dancer, but a musician. So anyway,
One more with music.
born Elizabeth Grant.
Okay, that helps me not.
Don't know.
I'll be honest, I got nothing on this one. I don't care for her music. I think she's boring.
He's the one who evidently came up with this episode. He
I
has
think
no clues
I
for
think
us?
she's boring, and for some reason, white women like her. So
Jewel.
no, but good good answer though. I'm giving you 50 points just for that answer. So that's
Dude, put another 0 on that. That was worth it.
all right. You get 500 for the answer of the day.
Wow.
She really wants to be Chris Isaac, but she's not that cool.
Jewel.
I was about to say.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
That one just, I've never understood why
I'm sure she's
white
a-
women like her so much.
I'm sure
but-
she's a talented musician, but I'll be honest, if you held a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you one Lana Del Rey song.
Exactly.
So with that, stick with music, Alan.
Let me see if I can pronounce this one correctly.
Oh, those are the best.
Born. Well, actually, you know what? I think I know how to pronounce this. Born Chaim Weitz.
Oh, that's Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. Wow.
It's Weiss.
You were just quicker on the buzzer on that one.
I wish we had an actual buzzer for this.
Had I not known, or the only reason I know that is because of the Family Guy episode.
Yeah.
Where Lois runs him, Chaim? Which one do you want me to sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You're still in control.
Stick with it.
Born Courtney Michelle Harrison.
You
Dave.
did this to mock me. Is it Courtney Love?
It is Courtney Love.
Now I feel dirty.
Wow, brother.
All right, Dave, you are in control.
Yeah, just go with music so I can get this bad taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, we're almost at them. I've got 4 more music ones here.
All right.
Born Stevlin Morris.
Is that Morrissey?
No.
You're assuming Morrissey was born. I thought he was hatched. But go ahead, Alan.
He started off singing and playing the harmonica as a small child.
Is it Stevie Wonder?
It is Stevie Wonder.
I feel like I've insulted Stevie now.
Yeah. Hang your head in shame, Dave.
I don't even know why I'm keeping score anymore because this is just.
Yeah, I told you it was going to be a slaughter. You invited a guy over that runs trivias for extra money to
what
be
do you
part of a
guess?
trivia game.
We're gonna just run the.
We're just gonna run through. Okay, born Anna Mae Bullock.
Oh, that's Tina Turner.
That would be Tina Turner.
Tennessee's finest.
That's right, from Bushnut, Tennessee.
Nutbush.
Nutbush. I'm sorry, whatever. It sounds dirty either way.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
All right.
Run it out, sir.
Born Eileen Edwards.
Eileen Edwards.
Eileen
I don't know.
Edwards.
I don't know. Go ahead.
She is of Canadian descent, and her parents died when she was a teenager, and she got custody of her brothers and younger brothers and sisters.
I know who this is, and I'm ashamed to admit it. I have more respect for her ex-husband than I have for her. It's Shania.
Yeah, there you go. My
Yikes.
last clue is going to be she stole a name from the the indigenous people in Canada.
Jeez.
All right.
Run it out.
Born Farrokh Bulsara.
Farouk Bulsara? Mm-hmm. That's Freddie Mercury.
That is Freddie Mercury.
Again, I watched the movie.
Yeah. All right. All right, so we're out of music now.
All right.
So we have wrestlers, actors, and other left.
Go ahead and run other.
Now go ahead and run wrestlers, so
run
we can
wrestlers.
we can get that out
Yeah,
of the
we've
way
got
and let
three of
Barry
those-
just
or
go
four
ahead
of those
and put me
left.
out.
All right, go ahead.
Born Michael Hegstrand.
No clue. Go ahead, Barry.
Michael Hegstrand.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
He started off as a bouncer in Minnesota and a bodybuilder.
Is that Sid Vicious? Okay.
What a rush.
Oh, God.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
No.
Oh,
But the question is, which one is it? I'll say it's Hawk.
That is Road Warrior Hawk.
Is it a hawk or animal?
That is.
that was a horrible
Yeah.
impersonation.
And if you got to get more guttural, you got to
All right. So you're in control.
run it out.
Born
I'm grasping at straws.
Paige Falkenberg.
Oh, please. It's me. It's me. It's DDP. And I have
Yes,
to.
that would be Diamond Dallas Page.
There's a show that Gabriel Iglesias had, like Fluffy Gets Fit or something like that.
Yeah. Did he
And
do the DDPY?
He actually had gone through DDP yoga, and
Yeah.
apparently they became really good friends.
Awesome.
There's one where he actually goes to.
You know, him
Georgia.
and Jake Roberts have a podcast together now.
Do they really?
Yes.
I didn't know. I know
Yeah.
Jake's alive because of him.
Yeah,
so.
oh yeah. We've all seen the
Scott Hall's alive because
both of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And that has like the perfect him bringing both of them to Atlanta and getting them healthy and
Yeah.
clean and everything, and then they both go into the Hall of Fame the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. It's
Yep.
like, wow, this is All right.
Run it out.
Born Larry Fole.
Oh, that's Lex Luger. I love it. He had like the scratch effect on.
I
that
didn't
one.
even
That
mean
was kinda
to. I know. It's all right.
Oh,
Last
look,
one.
He's started his third row of scoring, and I haven't even finished
cool.
one row of
You got the
scoring.
best answer of the day so far.
All right, here we go. Born Joseph Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis. I don't know. I thought it was John Laurinaitis, but
No.
okay.
He started off as a bodybuilder and a bouncer in Minnesota.
Well, you've just described
Well, that would be the other
the wrestlers.
That would be the other half of the Road Warriors, would it not?
It might be Road Warrior Animal.
I'm going to split that one. But since both of you got
Is he part of the Laurinaitis fan? I didn't know.
he is
they were-
John Laurinaitis' brother.
Really?
Don't you remember like that CM Punk,
Yeah.
whenever him and Laurinaitis, and he said, you're upset because you have a brother who made it in wrestling, is much more famous than you.
Wow.
And yeah,
I didn't realize that's who he was talking about.
John Laurinaitis is
People
is his
power.
brother. Yeah. And that again, we lost Animal this last year. The wrong Laurinaitis
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, well,
That's
Wow.
Well, and if you get a chance, there's an episode of, was it Beyond the Ring?
Yeah.
Where they do about the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Dude, those guys were hard.
Oh my gosh.
Hawk especially.
Yes.
Well,
But,
didn't one of them like say he was going to rape some other wrestler in a stand-up at one point?
Yeah, that was Hawk.
yeah.
That was after he had some really, really bad drug
He
and
had some
alcohol
demons.
problems.
He had some serious
Yeah.
demons.
Now he got clean at the end. Which was another one of those. He got clean at the end. He found religion, and then he
And they
died
died.
within 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow.
I mean,
you know?
he apparently had like links to the Yakuza and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He was really.
He was running with the London chapter of the Hells Angels
Yeah.
for years.
Wow.
It was,
Yeah, I mean he was Hawk of the Road Warriors. Off the
What wrestler was it that he was threatening to?
It was in Japan. It
Yeah,
was
I can't remember who it
I don't
was,
remember
but-
who it was, but yeah, he did. He cut a promo that
Yeah.
it
It
was like
was-
whoa, you know.
it's what my grandfather used to call ugly all day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, so we are down to actors and a couple of others.
Well, let's run
left.
through other.
All right, Bourne. Let me see if I can pronounce this first any of these names.
Now we see why they changed him.
Andreas Varhola Jr. Varhola, Varhola.
Varahola?
It's Varhola.
Oh, I
yes,
got no idea.
Varhola, Varhola,
No
something
clue.
like that. Jr. I'll give you something without giving it away. He was an artist and as well as an avant-garde movie or filmmaker.
Fellini. I don't know.
Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol it is.
Wow. Pulling it out there, Dave.
Dave gets the 50. All right. All right. Last. All right, you want to stay with other or do you want to
Might
do
as well
something?
run it out.
All right. This is the last one of the other. Born Leslie Lynch King Jr.
What an unfortunate name.
No, I don't know.
He was born in like 1913. Oh, here's the next clue. He was born in 1913. His parents got divorced when he was young. Which, in that time, because his father was severely abusive to both him and his mother. She remarried, and he took the name of his stepfather to get away from his dad completely.
1913.
He started off as a male model and worked his way into politics.
I thought I had something there for a minute, but that changed what it was, so I don't know.
He became vice president and later president when Richard Nixon had to resign.
Gerald Ford?
Gerald Ford it is.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's
That's
interesting.
deep.
Yep.
That's deep.
I had no clue that he was born under a different name.
I didn't-
Yeah,
I-
I started reading. I was like, "Holy crap!"
Wow.
Yeah.
I still, and again, I go back to a lot of TV.
Yeah.
The episode of The Simpsons when like Gerald Ford moves next to him. Do you like beer, Homer? Do you like to watch football?
All right, I don't even want to be writing this shit
All right.
anymore. All right,
Run us
so
through the
we're in
actors.
actors now.
Okay.
Born Catherine Litwick. I'm sorry, Catherine Litwick.
Don't
Got
know.
nothing.
She started off with small roles, transitioned to television, and is now a member of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I got nothing.
She was the best part of the Thor movies.
I was going to say Natalie Portman. Yeah.
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings it is. Kat Dennings
I
it
always
is.
forget about Kat Dennings.
Yep.
If you told me she had an infinite playlist, that
There
I'd
you
got.
go. Well,
That
I knew
I'd
that.
got.
I knew that was going to be the.
I love that movie.
I know
Yeah,
you do.
It was good. It was good.
All right. Born Elizabeth Irene Mitchell.
I love it when he says these, and you and I look at each other like, I got no freaking clue.
Some of these are
But
like
yet
they've
you're,
got.
you're smoking me.
Oh, well,
You've
yeah,
got
but
such
they're such
generic
Yeah,
names.
the generic
I know.
names are killing me. Yeah. All right.
She has gone on to be a producer as well as a director, and after a very successful film career.
Oh. She was one of the 2 members of Laverne and Shirley.
You thinking Penny Marshall?
Yeah.
I was about to say Penny Marshall didn't do many movies. She directed them, but she didn't play in them. All right, what's the last one?
She helped make a porno.
Elizabeth Banks?
Elizabeth Banks it is.
What?
Zack and
Mary make a porno.
Has one of the funniest scenes. The only time I've ever fallen off of a bed laughing.
I don't think I've seen
Which
this.
one?
Don't say shit and covered together again.
Yes. That is.
I was dying laughing at that scene. But I have a sick sense of humor, so.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
You need to see this movie. It's a Kevin Smith movie.
Well, and the funny thing
it's
is
hilarious.
they had to change the name of it.
It's called Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
But they changed.
But everything was just called, all the posters and everything just said Zack and Miri because they were like, we can't put make a porno on it. It's her and Seth Rogen.
Yeah. And oh god, what's his name?
But it's got like Katie Morgan and the guy that plays not Dante Randall is in it.
And
there's a bunch of. I mean, it's. What's his name from The Office?
Yes, I can't think of his name.
He's
right
in
on the tip of my
everything.
tongue. He was in This Is the End.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about? Craig
Robinson.
Craig Robinson. Yeah,
Craig
I mean
Robinson.
it's a good movie.
It's funny.
It's a really funny movie.
And isn't Tracy Lords in it too?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yes, she is. So.
Well, she would have to be.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Born Andrew James Clutterbuck.
Yeah, I would change my name too.
Yeah, definitely. I got nothing.
No.
He is British, and he's British, and he was in the movie Love Actually. Probably the first time a lot of people noticed him.
I don't think I've seen that movie either.
I've seen bits and pieces, but not Martin Freeman. Okay.
He transitioned to television, became very famous as the father of Carl.
Oh, Andrew. What's his last name?
I'll give it to him.
The Walking
because he's
Dead.
talking about The Walking Dead.
Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes, Andrew Lincoln. Yes, his last name was Clutterbuck.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Surprised he made it past the first episode of Walking Dead then.
Yeah.
Born Michael John Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. No. I figured I'd go with the low-hanging fruit.
That's all I've got.
Hey.
Is low-hanging fruit.
Sounds like a...
He started off as a comedic actor, but then moved into drama. And
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton it is.
I forgot.
My last was going to be, I'm Batman.
I forgot his real name is Mike Douglas.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and then
Michael
had to change
Douglas. All right, here's a good one.
it. Okay.
Born Margaret Mary Emily Ann Hira. Yes, those are 5 names there.
Wow.
Margaret Mary Emily Ann Hira.
That's a good Catholic name.
That's, yeah.
I got nothing.
I don't either. Like most of the game, I've got nothing.
She had a very small role in Top Gun.
Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan it is.
Take me to bed or lose me forever.
Yeah. Made an AIDS joke in there too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Victim of her own plastic surgery.
Let me see if I can pronounce her name. Born Brienne de Saulniers.
I don't know.
I'm just going to throw a random name out here. Portia de Rossi.
She won an Academy Award before becoming part of the Marvel Universe, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No idea.
I'll just throw a name out for the fun of it. Scarlett Johansson.
Final clue. This is someone Dave absolutely loves beyond more than any person can love someone.
Robert Downey Jr.
And she was the lead singer of The Clash at Demon Head.
Oh,
Can't
Brie Larson.
stand that woman. Her and Courtney Love are about on the same level.
That's why I said Dave could not love anyone.
you can
more than
have the
this.
points for that one just out of
That's all
spite.
All right, here's a good one.
All right.
Born Eric Bishop.
It sounds familiar.
He started off as a stand-up comedian and became a cast member on In Living Color.
Damon Wayans?
Is it Jim Carrey? Okay.
He won an Academy Award for portraying Ray Charles.
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx it is. All right.
I quit.
No, we still have 1, 2, 3,
I
4,
forfeit.
5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 more left here.
I forfeit.
Oh,
I don't
my
care.
gosh.
All right. Born Jerome Silberman.
No idea.
No idea.
I'm trying to think of what's a good clue that's not going to give it
Oh,
away.
he didn't write his clues down.
No, I'm just,
Oh,
I
it
have,
does.
this is one of those actors that as soon as I say something, you're going to be like, oh, that's no matter what. All right, we'll put this. My favorite movie that he was in, he co-starred with Harrison Ford, and it's called The Cisco Kid.
Gene Wilder?
Gene Wilder it is. Most people don't know that movie. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll get this one. Anyway, all right, so we're down to the last few here. We're going to knock this out.
Okay.
And let Dave... I'll tell you I did the math. If I make all of these 500 apiece, Dave might be.
No, there's no
crawl
chance of
back
me
into
winning.
this.
There's-
All right.
There's no chance of me ever winning.
All right, so we are still in actors.
Okay.
And this is all we have left. So, born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite.
Oh, I know this.
Of course you do.
Well, it's that you don't forget a last name like Micklewhite.
He is an actor of British descent.
Oh, is it Michael Caine?
It is Michael Caine. All right.
That's the only reason why I remembered it was that you cannot say that man's name without sounding like you're saying my cocaine.
I know.
So
I know. Michael Caine. Born Mary Catherine Collins.
another good Catholic girl.
Yes, very much so. With her career, though, not so much a good Catholic girl.
Okay.
And no, she didn't do porn.
That we know of.
Maybe. She gets her name from the much older director that she married.
Sharon Tate. I don't know.
And she was a 10.
Bo Derek?
Bo Derek it is.
Yeah, that's definitely a better name.
Yeah.
All right. Born Amanda Lee Rogers.
That's, again, with the generic names, you know?
She became most famous on the television show Ally McBeal.
Callista Flockhart?
I didn't watch that show, so I don't.
I just,
Now she's probably most famous for being married to Ellen DeGeneres.
oh, is it Portia de
It is
Rossi?
Portia de Rossi. Yes.
I guessed that one earlier. Right?
Yeah. All right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 of them left. I'm going
All
to
right.
tell you this up front on all these. These are all old Hollywood
Perfect.
because old Hollywood had a bunch of
It's okay.
people who changed their names. Okay.
Right?
Born Joseph Yule Jr.
It's not Yul Brynner.
No.
Joseph Yule Jr. I don't know.
He originally was training to be a jockey, but wound up in movies.
Mickey Rooney?
Mickey Rooney it is.
I just had to think of whoever's short.
I know. All right.
That's why I kept coming back with, well, Alan's younger than
Yeah,
you.
oh, fuck. Born Archibald Alexander Leach.
Archibald Alexander. I know this one.
He was told that he would never make it in Hollywood because his neck was too thick.
His neck was too thick?
Yep. They said he didn't have a good profile because his neck was too thick.
I don't know.
And he was an American heartthrob in the 40s and 50s.
Tab Hunter. I don't know.
Rock Hudson?
Now, we've already did Rock Hudson.
Cary Grant?
Cary Grant it is.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archibald Alexander Leach. Yeah, he was told by an agent that his neck was too thick. He didn't have a strong enough jawline to be in the movies. So, all right. Born Frances Ethel Gum.
Oh, I know this. Francis Gum. That's hang on. I know this one.
I don't.
She starred in a series of movies with someone we mentioned earlier.
That doesn't help.
Next clue.
She just followed the yellow brick road.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, I cannot think of her name.
She was in the original A Star Is Born.
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland it is.
I was like, I know this, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I couldn't think of what her name was.
Let me see if I can pronounce this name. Mm-hmm. It's not even his first name, which is also rough.
Difficult.
It's the last one.
Yep.
Isser Danielovich.
Not a clue.
Okay, what's your clue?
Geez, what's a good clue? He has a very, let's see. He has a very famous son. And he was, he starred alongside, oh crap! Now I've completely lost what he was in.
Okay.
So the hints aren't even helpful.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I you know what? I actually got him mixed up with someone else.
Oh, so we're...
Yeah.
Have I mentioned I hate this game?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. He has a very famous son. Hey, this is probably going to give it away. That who made his name doing a lot of erotic thrillers.
It's Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas it is.
Wow.
I could not. I was trying to think. Kirk Douglas. What was he in?
Spartacus. I am Spartacus.
There he is. There he was. He was Spartacus. That's right.
Oh my
Spartacus.
gosh.
And you know what? I got him mixed up with what's his name? Daniels. Not Daniels.
I don't know who you're talking about.
The one that was in Sequest. The original Sequest.
Not Roy Scheider.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now either.
He was in the Naked Gun, or not Naked. He was in the Hot Shots movies.
Bridges.
Yeah, Lloyd Bridges. That's why I was like, wait, no, I'm thinking of Lloyd Bridges. Never mind.
Looks like I picked the wrong time to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah. All right. So our very last one.
Thank goodness.
Born Leslie Towns Hope.
Leslie Towns Hope. Why does it sound like it's a little city?
Well, he made a series of road movies with Bing Crosby.
Bob Hope?
Bob Hope it is.
Hey, Allie.
And you know what? We have reached Dave's favorite question, the last one. I stopped counting a long time ago, but as we stood several questions back, Barry was leading 3,425 points to 1,700.
Yeah.
So
You put up a fight, bro. You put up a fight.
so you basically doubled him up. Is what?
He did this specifically to, just use me
No,
as a
believe
weapon.
me, dude.
Yeah.
This could have gone on and on and on and on because there's so many people who have
It
adopted
kind of
a
felt
different.
like it did go
Yeah,
on
yeah.
and
For
on.
you, it's.
Yeah. I hate these games.
I know you do, but you know what? And I've already informed Barry of this. We're doing more of these in the future. Not of this specific, but I have a Blockbuster Movies trivia game, and I'm also in the process of getting an MTV trivia game.
I'm screwed.
That I am going to, so...
He's basically using the podcast as a whipping post for me at this point.
So what we do, Dave, is we flip it around and you host it, and it's me and Alan going.
We could do that. That's fine. I would have no problem with that.
Finally, revenge.
So that is I would have no problem because, especially in both of those categories.
Yeah.
But no, this was fun. I know it kind of did it drug a little bit, and we had technical issues and user issues.
But you know what?
I'm curious. I've just got to see what else he's got programmed in here. Oh.
No, this is just all the same stuff I played earlier. So
it's what happens when these guys get new toys.
I know.
Where do you get those wonderful toys?
I know. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for enduring this.
And enduring it is actually what they had to do.
And if you'd like to give us feedback, remember, it's on Discord.
Discord, as well as Instagram and Facebook. All of those links are in our show notes.
I have completely removed myself from Twitter.
Uh-oh.
I did that a long time ago.
He's twitless?
I am twitless.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Twitter is just a cesspool of... It is a hive of scum and villainy is all it is. I mean, there's no better way to put that. So,
if you're looking for Jabba the Hutt, you know where to go.
Exactly. Anybody? Are you guys watching Book of Boba Fett?
Yes.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good. I haven't watched the brand new one yet, but the first three that I watched are really good.
I got to catch up on it, and then tomorrow night is 1883. No, I take it back. That's next week. They went on a 2-week hiatus.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Well, Euphoria is back on HBO also.
I haven't watched that one yet.
I like that show. I watched because, it's funny because they had like a 2-year break, between seasons. And but I really enjoy that show. It's not for the faint of heart. I will tell you that much.
Well, and the only thing that we've really been watching...
That's Zendaya, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We watched, there's a movie on, I believe it's Amazon Prime, called The Tender Bar. That's directed by George Clooney with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that's like set in like the 1970s or something.
Yeah, and it's actually a very sweet movie. If you know anyone that has, shall we say, an estranged father, yeah, this will really hit home. Okay. And let's just say it's about a boy and his uncle. Okay, you know, so it naturally hit home to me.
Oh, so when we did our last episode together, with the fake bands, there was one that I left off.
Oh, I know, and you got called out for it on Instagram.
Did you?
Yeah, well, not that. We talked about that on the last show though. There's another one though that I was like, how did I forget this one? I don't know if either of you guys ever watched the Netflix show Love.
No.
Okay, it's a cute show. Okay, I mean it's not bad, but the Gus, one of the main characters, has a band, and I don't know that they ever actually gave it a name. Mm-hmm. But basically what they would do is that him and his friends would get together, and they would write theme songs for movies that didn't have theme songs.
Oh, nice.
So, like, they did one for, like, Carlito's Way and While You Were Sleeping and all this kind of stuff. And it's actually really brilliant, a lot of the stuff that they did.
Well, and there was one that I specifically left off, and I really wanted to use this because it has the greatest name for a band ever.
Okay.
But they didn't play a song together, so I had to leave it off. Mm-hmm. It was in the movie PCU. And the name of the band was
Free Sex?
No.
Oh, well, Everybody Gets Laid. That's what it was. That's right.
Laid.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Everybody Gets Laid.
That is, I mean, if that is not...
Tonight at the Pit, Everybody Gets Laid.
Yes, I was about to say, if that is not the greatest college radio name for a band I've ever heard.
College, that makes perfect sense, especially for that fraternity. That's...
Are you just sitting around your dorm room drinking beer and playing video games? Mm-hmm. Come out to the Pit.
I always wanted to name a band TBA.
To be announced. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We do,
because it would appear that you were playing everywhere, and everybody would just have to figure out where you were
playing. If you actually had a gig or not.
It's almost kind of like Where's Fluffy from Infinite Playlist.
Nice. Years ago, myself and a couple of friends of mine created a band called I Forgot. Dude, I saw this great band. What's it called?
I Forgot. Yeah.
Exactly. And how many bands have we heard of that's called Free Beer? I know.
I know. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this really long episode. Probably a lot longer for Dave than anybody else. But
He has to shave again.
Yeah, thanks for that. I don't shave anyway.
Barry, thank you once again for coming out.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And,
Thanks
is
for
there anywhere
having me.
anybody can find you on social media or anything?
Not if I want them to.
Fair enough.
No, I'm just kidding.
I agree. Hey, dude. That's,
Actually, I would like to give one little shout out
Sure.
here, if it's okay. There is an organization that's very near and dear to my heart. We are now in our, I think we've been open now for a little over 7 months. If you're visiting Nashville, Tennessee, and if you're interested in the random ass sport of curling, yes, that weird thing on ice where you throw
awesome.
rocks down there.
It's awesome. I've done-
Dave went already. I have not yet.
Actually went
So
and
I'm still
learned how
trying
to
to
do a
get you
little
out there.
curling.
It's the place is called T-Line, and we will be hosting our first Bonspiel next week, as a matter of fact. And for those of you that don't know what that is, picture a big curling event with a lot of beer. That's a Bonspiel. So
People just come out and watch and hang out.
yeah,
or-
absolutely. We've got teams that are going to be competing. I know we've got them from California. There's a couple that came
Nice.
from, I think, one from Denver, several from up north, and of course a bunch from the southern regions. But we're really pretty proud of it, and it's something that is a real growing sport in the city of Nashville and Middle Tennessee. So, yeah, shout out to T-Line. And again, if you guys get a chance, check out the website. It's tlinenash.com or NashvilleCurlingClub.com.
There you go. But
All
definitely
right.
go check that out. Like I said, I know Dave's already gone out there and seen you. I
Hey,
am going to.
Please.
I really.
Yeah.
There's something I'm like, yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
I'll
So,
say this. You know, everybody always sees, the guys in the Olympics that get down real low to the
Yeah,
ice
no,
and they
I
do
can't
the
do that.
curling. My knees can't handle it.
Yeah.
Come to find out, stick curling is
a
a
thing.
very real thing.
There you go.
And you don't even have to bend over. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
And Dave beat me at it, as a matter of fact.
Hey, first time I ever tried it, I beat Barry at it.
Yeah,
well,
this
there
is
you
true.
go. So
But again, guys, thanks for having me.
yeah, we
this-
are going to have you back to. Yeah, and I'll compete next time
Yes.
rather than having Dave.
You and I go head to head on this thing.
So that sounds like
thank goodness.
that should be a little more competitive. So thank you once again. I'm Alan Smith,
I'm demoted guest Big Day.
and we'll see you next time.
See ya.